gonna be a lot of shadow like this, and also a little bit of shadow over there. Then we would have a little shadow over here and underneath the ankle. And we kind of see two toes. This toe goes kind of up like this, and then we have this area which is very dark. Just a lot of shadow between the toes. And then just fade it in with the light area. So this is way too dark. I'm gonna go in, erase it, make it a lot lighter. I mean, I'm happy with the way that his foot actually looks, but the rest is way too dark. Everything else. So in front we do have a lot of shadow over here. We almost don't have any highlight over here. And then we have a big shadowed muscle over here as well. Kind of going almost all the way to there. And then just you would have something like this. Looks a little bit better. So now the only thing that we still need to do is basically doing the shadow on his spikes and making sure the shadow comes down onto the drawing as well. So we do have a couple of big skills over here. Around the area of the big spike on his shoulder. And then just make them smaller and smaller going into the rest of the dinosaur. And you could just make it look very detailed with drawing a couple of those skills everywhere. And with everywhere I literally mean everywhere, except for the most dark areas. Don't go over that too many times, because otherwise you'll just make it look too dark and it will kind of look silly, and you might regret it a little bit. At this point you could get a couple of wrinkles in everywhere if you wanted to, and all the extra details that we kind of missed, just put them in at this stage right now. as well as over here. We want to have a little bit more detail on his toes, so just gonna draw a couple of scales on it. Just a little bit. This should already be fine. Sorry, that's my chair. So we have a couple of scales over here as well. Skin texture. You could literally put that everywhere and it would look amazing. Alright, so now we want to get into kind of this spike over here. So what you want to do is make it completely black except for the upper side, because that's going to be a large highlight area. So just draw everything else and this completely dark. Should look something like this. And then just kind of do the same with all the all the spikes except for the ones over here, because over here it's gonna get a little bit lighter. And the spikes on the other side will be will only have a dark area at the underside, just a little bit of darkness, just a tiny bit. And right now it looks a little bit off, but that's just because we didn't put the shadow over the dinosaur yet, the shadow of the spikes, because there will also be a shadow on the dinosaur. So at this point the upper areas will have a little more highlight. And this is a really long tutorial, I'm sorry for that, but yeah, you kind of get a little bit more detail with it. So I'm not really quick like a lot of other drawing channels that are out there on YouTube. I really need my time to create something. Alright, now the shadow is kind of slowly disappearing. Now we only have a little bit of shadow left on the middle of these spikes. And until it's only at the under area of the spikes. Alright, so basically now what we want to do is kind of get the shadow of the spikes on the dinosaur itself. But make sure you go with the curve of his body. So it's gonna look something like this. And now we can just, at the highlighted area, put down a lot of those little kind of, I wouldn't say they are circles, but I'll just quickly show you. So what I'm basically doing is, if this is the body of the dinosaur, then this area will be very dark. But over here we can just draw kind of shapes like this. And then one other shape like this, and kind of get a little bit of shadow underneath there, so you kind of have that, like just like they are half circles, and you kind of put shadow on the underside of it and highlight at the upper area of the circle. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. And you do want to make this line a little bit better visible, just a tiny little bit. Just to make it look a little bit cleaner. I truly hope that I can kind of edit this video into a more shorter version, but I don't think I can promise anything. And over here I want to make those scales a little bit larger again, because we are at the area where his leg is, so we do get a little bit of wrinkles here. Kind of something like that. And then just continue on drawing those little scales to fill up the most light areas of the drawing. So I only have to do this part, this area over here, and I think you guys already understand what it's kind of like, and I completely smudged everything, but I'll be adjusting that in a little bit. So I'll just skip to the part where I did this area. Okay, so I'm back and we are about done. We only need to get a couple of lines here and a couple of lines there. Just finishing everything up. getting the shadow right, I guess. Alright, so I guess we're about done, and we only need to get the name of the dinosaur, my autograph, and the year. Yeah, so let's put the name of the dinosaur here. My autograph. And the year. Okay, so I guess this video turned out to be a quite long, I guess, and it is also quite detailed. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the video and the drawing in general, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.